Good day, everyone. My name is Hayden Vincent Benibile, and for this video, I'm going to show you the specification and price for my PC build in our subject, computer programming. Excuse my voice because unfortunately I have a cold. So we'll start. Table of contents. So first is tower or case, motherboard, hard drive, network extension, CPU, GPU, power supply, RAM, heatsink, monitor, and lastly, mouse and keyboard. First is the case. My case would be the Rakhalia. The case dimensions of this is 400 by 208 by 458 millimeters. Steel thickness is 0.6 millimeters. Left side panel is a hinge type tempered glass so that you will be able to appreciate your PC. Next is good airflow, and lastly, aesthetics. I chose this case because this case is a full tower case which can fit big or small parts. Next is the motherboard. My motherboard is the Asus B460A, which costs 7,995 pesos. This CPU supports 10th gen Intel. The chipset is Intel B460 chipset. It can hold 2 times DDR4 memory slots, supported up to 64 gigabytes. Expansion slot is one PCIe 3.0 by 16 slot. Onboard graphics is a 1 by DVI D port, supports a maximum resolution of 1920 by 1200 at 60 Hz. It also has an audio interface, a LAN port, and storage port. Next, my hard drive is an Apacer 512 SSD, which costs 4,000 pesos. Now, I chose an SSD because a solid state drive is faster than a hard drive. Its capacity is 512 gigabytes, type NVMe, read speed of 3000 megabytes or megabits, write speed is 2000, form factor M.2 80 millimeter, and interface is a PCIe 3.0 by 4. Next is the network extension. My network extension would be an Ethernet cable category 6, which costs about 700 pesos. The category 6 standard delivers the maximum performance of 250 megahertz or millihertz compared to the category 5 and 5E specifications of 100. I chose this because it has better connectivity because it's directed to the router, and category 6 because the outer layer of this Ethernet cable can handle all types of weathers. Next is the CPU. The CPU I chose is the Intel Core i5 10th Gen, which costs 9,650. This CPU has 6 total cores, 12 total threads, max turbo frequency of 4.30 GHz, turbo boost technology, a frequency of 4.30 GHz also, processor base frequency of 2.90 GHz. Good for all. I chose this CPU. It's because it's good for all around work and games. Next is the GPU, an RTX 2060. This costs 22,000 pesos. Memory size is 6 gigabytes. Memory type is GDDR6. Memory bus is 192-bit. Bandwidth of 336 gigabytes. It has one DVI port, one HDMI 2.0 port, and 2 display ports of 1.4A. Excuse me. My power supply would be a Silverstone ES70F ES230, which costs 2,800 pesos. With this, it has high efficiency with 80 plus certification, 24/7 continuous power output with 40 degrees operating temperature, glass leading 12 volts rail, active PCF circuitry, PCIe 8-pin and PCIe 6-pin connector support, and silent running 120mm fan with 18 decibels. Next, my RAM is a T-Force Delta 16 gigabytes, which costs 4,850 pesos. This memory type is a DDR4. It has a capacity of 16 gigabytes. Eight One stick is 8 gigabytes, so that's times 2, it would be 16. It has dual channel and a speed of 3200 millihertz. Now, I chose this RAM because it has dual channel. Dual channel means I could open a lot of tabs. I can open a certain amount of tabs, which is better than a single channel, and also my PC won't lag so much. My heatsink would be a Dark Flash Twister AIO, or all-in-one, which cost 3,150 pesos. The model would be Twister DX240. Water block size would be a 75 by 75 by 53. Pump speed of 2,400 RPM. Pump voltage of 12 volts. Fan size of 120 by 120 by 25 millimeters. And a fan speed of 800 to 1800 RPM. I chose this all-in-one heatsink for better cooling in my CPU when working on heavy loads and when opening a lot of apps. My monitor would be a Migen G2765Q, which costs about 9,500 pesos. The response time of this is 1 millisecond, a refresh rate of 165 Hz, panel type IPS 1, two HDMI ports, one display port, one USB 2.0, and one audio jack port. Resolution of this monitor is 256 by 1440p max resolution, and the display size is 27 inches. Excuse me. Mouse and keyboard. My mouse would be a Logitech Hero G502 Lightspeed Wireless. This mouse is wireless. It weighs 121 grams, a total DPI of 100 to 25,600, 2.5 hours of usage, and 55 million clicks. My keyboard would be a full mechanical keyboard with 104 keys, red switches for silent work when using it in public or in the office, and it has a USB cable so that it is easily connected to your computer. The total cost of this build is 75,240 pesos. That would be all. Thank you, sir, and have a nice day.